What's up LEGO fans, it's LEGO Man Cam, and today I'm going to be taking a look at every LEGO Star Wars Battle Pack ever released and determining which is the best of all time. Before we start, there's going to be a few things that I look at in each of these sets, which are going to lead to my rankings, which will be out of 10. First is the army building potential, because that's what I see as the real point of a battle pack. Next is the figure selection, which kind of refers to actually how good the figures are that are included. And last will be the builds, which I know are a kind of irrelevant element to battle packs, but I still think there are some sets with better builds than others. Anyway, the first of these battle packs was 7654. This is the Droids battle pack, which came with 4 regular battle droids and 3 super battle droids, as well as a mini droid carrier and a stab. Now, I think we can all agree that this is a pretty stellar battle pack. To get 7 droids and have both builds be pretty much perfect for the price point, I don't think there's much you can negatively say here. Sure, the blasters do look a little bit goofy, but other than that, I don't think you can give this set anything other than a 9 out of 10, it's just so good. Next is 7655, the counterpart to this set. This is the Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Now this one came with 3 different variations of clones. You got 2 regular Phase 2s, a Coruscant Guard, and a 327th Star Corps. Firstly, why have we never gotten another 327th clone since 2007? I know you can kind of use that weird 212th one from the Umbaran MHC, but that one still isn't the perfect yellow color that this one is. Anyway, this is another really nice battle pack. 4 clones, a speeder, and a small turret. I don't think this is quite as good as the Droids set, as the army building potential isn't quite as strong here with the different types of clones, but I do like that they did give us 2 regular Phase 2s. The other 2 clones are great to get, but they do limit the massability and collectability of them. However, at least they didn't give us a clone officer or something like that. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. It's still a really nice battle pack. Moving on to 2009, we have the Imperial Dropship Set 7667. This is a battle pack that I always wanted as a kid, but I never managed to get. It comes with a really nice dropship build to place down the Stormtroopers, and at that you also get 3 regular Stormtroopers and 1 Shadow Trooper. I love the ability to get 3 Stormtroopers for so cheap, and it's a really great counterpart to the next set, so I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. To go alongside this set, we got set 7668, the Rebel Scout Speeder. Now, did anyone really need an army of Rebel Troopers from the Tantive 4? Not really, but they are all exactly the same, which is something that I love about a battle pack, getting 4 identical figures. It's just the actual content in this set isn't super massable. The speeder is actually really good, it looks kind of unique compared to some of the other speeders that we'll see later on, and I love the really big cannon on top. And it's also one of the only battle packs I think to ever include stickers. Anyway, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10 as well. We then got one of the most iconic battle packs of all time, which is the Clone Walker Battle Pack, set 8014. This one is just awesome. The Walker build is so cute, but you can also use it considering it would fit right in with an army. And now the figure selection in this set is great too. Yes, the clone gunner could have just been a regular clone, which is probably my only downside here. I do suppose that when army building, it does give you someone to sort of always pilot the walkers, which you'll be getting so many more of with each of these packs that you buy. Perhaps my favorite element to this set though are all the accessories that you get for the clones. The visor and the other pieces all mean that you can buy multiple of these packs and customize your clones in lots of different ways. I'm going to give this set a 9.5 out of 10 just because of that clone gunner, but otherwise it's a near perfect set. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same about its counterpart, set 8015, the Assassin's Droid Battle Pack, which I'll give you a fun little fact here. This was actually the first ever LEGO set I remember buying. Anyway, this set has 5 assassin droids, which are all just kind of bland. Sure, the silver ones are cool, but I honestly think the best part of this battle pack is the build. The speeder looks really cool, and I loved those little rubber spike parts at the back. Anyway, this one is going to be a 5 out of 10 for me. It's just not a great battle pack, and I don't see anyone amassing an army of assassin droids. Next we have some Hoth-based battle packs for 2010, and the first of these was the Rebel Trooper battle pack. Now this obviously isn't as desirable as let's say a clone battle pack, but I actually do still really like this one. You get 3 really nice Hoth Rebel Troopers, and then a Snowspeeder pilot who's actually Zev Seneska. The build is honestly not bad, it does look pretty cool, and I might actually go back and try and rebuild one of my old ones of these that got destroyed many years ago. I'll give this one a solid 7 out of 10 as the build does really carry it. The counterpart battle pack to this one was obviously the Snowtrooper battle pack, and this one is so much worse in my opinion. The figure selection is not good at all. Yes, you get 2 regular Snowtroopers, but the AT-AT driver and the Imperial officer are just not massable at all. Let alone, why do we need an AT-AT driver without an AT-AT? It makes no sense. Anyway, the Snow sort of speeder bike looks pretty cool, and the little command post is kind of okay, but I'll just be giving this one a 5 out of 10. Now we jump to 2011 with set 7913, the Clone Troopers Battle Pack. This one is such a weird bunch of figures. It came with 2 Bomb Squad Troopers, an ARF Trooper, and what is known as a Horn Company clone. This is such a super weird selection of figures, and can I also just ask, does anyone else have so many of these Bomb Squad Troopers, or is that just me? For some reason, I have like 8 of these guys, and I have no idea why. I do not remember buying 4 of these sets. I think these were just traded around the schoolyard back in the day a lot. Anyway, you get a really nice Bark Speeder build, which is probably one of the first ever made in LEGO, but the actual figure selection here is just not it. You'd probably want maybe 1 or 2 of these sets, but then you're done. So I'll be giving this one a 6 out of 10. The other pack for 2011 was 7914, the Mandalorian Battle Pack, and this is a really great set. Build wise, you get a turret and a smaller cannon, as well as a speeder bike, as well as including 4 exactly the same Death Watch Mandalorians. I really do love this battle pack because it has such great army building potential. The Mandalorians do look pretty cool, maybe they are missing a bit of leg detail though. In saying all this, exactly how many Mandalorians you would want is up to you, but I do think it has more army building potential than a lot of other sets, so I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. 2012 was the first year to introduce mixed battle packs. First up was the Elite Clone Trooper and Commando Droid Set. Now this one is super controversial as a battle pack because it's kind of terrible when you look at it. You get an ARC Trooper who's fully kitted out, as well as an ARF Trooper, and then 2 Commando Droids who no one wants an army of Commando Droids. However, as a set itself, it's actually really great. The ARC Trooper is an incredible design and honestly looks so much better than some of the clones that are getting released today. I'm looking at you, Commander Fox. The Commando Droids were also cool to get in a cheap set, and overall this is just a really great set, but a terrible battle pack. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 though, because it's just a really cool set. I just can't give it anything lower than that. The other set we got was a Rebel Trooper versus Imperial Battle Pack, and this one was based on Endor. Could this set have maybe been seen as like a precursor to the Ewok village the next year? Maybe. Anyway, this is not a terrible battle pack, but it's just pretty forgettable in my opinion. It's more massable than the Elite Clone battle pack, but the figures just aren't anything too special. The tree build is also pretty boring, but the speeder bike is kind of nice. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Moving on to 2013, we got set 75000, which is a pretty cool set number. This is the Clone Troopers versus Droidekas battle pack. This set got a lot of hate back in the day, and I can see why. The Droidekas do look pretty crappy, and only getting 1 regular Phase 1 clone was a massive letdown. I think the command station build is actually the coolest part of this set in my opinion, but the olive green clone sergeant does look really cool as well. Again, I just don't think the versus style of battle packs was really working here, and in terms of giving you like a proper battle, I think 2 clones would be pretty useless against 2 Droidekas, so I'm going to give this set a 5 out of 10. The other battle pack from the year though got the versus style right in my opinion. This was the Republic versus Sith Troopers set. The Republic Troopers look really nice with their orange color scheme, and both the 2 different Sith Troopers look great too. I feel like although they do vary in design, they still look similar enough to be really massable with just a little bit of variation. The major downside to this set though in my opinion is the speeder. It's not bad, it's just a really small build, and usually in a battle pack, if a build was that small, there would be something else, maybe like a turret or a bit of scenery, or something for the Republic Troopers to use. So I just feel like this set was definitely missing that. I will give it an 8 out of 10 though. For the first time, 2014 gave us 3 battle packs in a year, and this is what I consider to be the beginning of the golden era for LEGO Star Wars battle packs. In saying that, the first is by far the worst though. This is the Death Star Troopers set. As a kid, I was really excited when this one came out, as I had always wanted the Royal Guard minifigures for the longest time. I just thought they looked so cool, so I was really excited to be able to get them because they were in a cheap set. Anyway though, in terms of a battle pack, this is a pretty bad one. The build is kind of nice, I actually do like the big cannon, but the Death Star Troopers aren't anything special, and that's why I'm going to be giving this one a 6 out of 10. It has good quality, it's just you don't need to buy more than one. Now we have one of the heaviest hitters on the list. This is the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack. This set came with 2 Kashyyyk Phase 2 clones, and 2 Kashyyyk Scout Troopers, and they all look incredible. At the time, these figures were brand new and honestly just perfect. Even to today's standards, they still look amazing. The Swamp Speeder build is actually really memorable here, and it fits the scene perfectly. There's literally nothing bad that I can say about this set, so I'll be giving it a 10 out of 10. Following along in equal amazingness is the Udow Troopers Battle Pack, and this one again goes incredibly hard. 2 212th Troopers and 2 Airborne Troopers allow you to perfectly recreate scenes from Udow and Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan is fighting General Grievous. The Tri-Droid is a decent sort of smaller scale for a battle pack, and you can definitely use it to fill out some mocks and maybe larger custom battles. The Airborne Troopers even include cloth waistcapes, and the figures in this set have all remained exclusive, which is pretty rare for a battle pack. As I said before, 2014 started the golden era of battle packs, and this is why, once again, I'll be giving this set a 10 out of 10. This and the Kashyyyk Troopers set are just so massable while still being really interesting on their own, having variation, usability, and suitable builds. They just tick all the boxes. 2015 continued the glory with set 75078, the Imperial Troop Transport. This is once again an absolute heater of a battle pack. The set gives you 4 identical Star Wars Rebels themed Stormtroopers with a scaled down version of the troop transporter that appears in the show. However, it still manages to fit all 4 Stormtroopers inside. While yes, I do understand the Stormtroopers do look a little bit strange with their animated design, but as a kid I really loved these and they didn't distract me very much at all. I think they can pretty easily mix in with the regular Stormtroopers. I especially loved the little light blue azure details that they had on the helmet. Anyway, to make it 3 in a row, I will be giving this one a 10 out of 10 as well. Literally the perfect Imperial army builder. Up next was the Shadow Troopers Battle Pack, and this one is definitely not as cool. However, it did have some really nice minifigs in it. The 2 Shadow Troopers look really nice in that gunmetal grey, and the Shadow Royal Guards are a pretty menacing looking colour swap. The build is pretty decent. It reminds me of Jek 14's Stealth Starfighter, but in a really smaller scale. Overall, similar to the Death Star Troopers set, there's not a lot of massability to it, but the figures do look quite cool, which is why I'll be giving it a 7 out of 10. Now, I forgot to mention before, but 2015 actually gave us 4 battle packs, which is the most we've ever gotten in a year. Anyway, next was the Senate Commando Troopers, and this is a really nice set, although it is hard to army build with these guys. I do appreciate that these figures were pretty hard to get before this set released, and it was nice to get non-Clone Wars versions of them, but the set overall just doesn't really scream army builder to me. The build is pretty cool though, and I loved the stud cannons that they had going back then, which was super fun to shoot off all the bullets, even though they would get completely lost after one attempt. I give this one a 7 out of 10. The last battle pack from 2015 is the Geonosis Troopers. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing these guys in any of the movies at all. I'm assuming they're maybe based off of something non-canon, or maybe the Clone Wars, but I've watched all the Clone Wars, and again, I don't remember seeing these guys. Anyway, you get 2 regular clones and 2 airbornes, and they look really great, and the color schemes are something completely unique for Star Wars clone troopers. The Walker build is also really great with a nice stud shooter on the front. I don't love this one as much as the Kashyyyk or 2 12th Troopers, but it's a solid 9 out of 10 for me. 2016 followed up with another 4 battle packs, with the first 2 being based off of The Force Awakens, which had just released the previous year. The Resistance Trooper battle pack is quite nice, honestly. 3 troopers and an officer who all look pretty decent, even though none of them have leg print, surprisingly. The speeder is quite decent too. This is just another pretty forgettable battle pack, so I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. However, the next one up was so hyped but failed so miserably, and this was the First Order battle pack. At the time, all anybody wanted was an army of First Order Stormtroopers, and when we heard we were getting a battle pack, everyone was so excited. However, the set only includes 2 Stormtroopers, and one of them has a weird ammo pouch on his chest. You also get a gunner and then an officer, who are both really boring in my opinion. The turret build is fine. I think it fits nicely and does look like something that would have maybe been on Starkiller Base, but overall this one was a huge letdown at the time. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. The next 2 battle packs were both based on the Star Wars Battlefront video game, which was quite new and pretty popular at the time. The first of these being the Rebel Alliance battle pack. I actually regret not picking up this set back in the day, as the figures all look really cool and are all unique. I love the Rodian character, and the speeder bike that you get actually looks pretty deluxe for a battle pack. The jetpacks were really nice pieces to get from the game as well, so overall I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. It has a lot of uniqueness, just limited army building potential. The Galactic Empire Battle Pack was the counterpart to this set, and this one is really cool. It gave us our first Imperial Shock Trooper, which was great to get, as well as 2 jetpack Stormtroopers who are exclusive as well due to all their battle damage and markings. The Imperial Officer is the obvious sneak in this set though, where if he wasn't included and we got another regular Stormtrooper, I think this set would have been one of the best. The build is kind of meh as well. The command station looks kind of cool, but it just doesn't offer as much and you can't really army build them. Overall, I give this one an 8 out of 10 as the coolness factor on the minifigures boosts this one up a lot. 2017 brought us some Rogue One themed battle packs. First up was the Rebel Troopers. This one is pretty nice in my opinion, even if it's just a little bit bland. The 4 figures all look like normal Rebel Troopers and have enough variation to them. The builds are decent, the speeder is tiny, but at least they threw in a small turret too to add some more pieces. I feel like this set gives a good taste of what the Rogue One movie is like, a bit more of a down-to-earth and war-themed Star Wars, so I think this set is a pretty good representation. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10 too. The counterpart to this set is really nice though. This is the Imperial Troopers. You get 2 regular Stormtroopers who are great to get here in their updated Rogue One designs, as well as 2 Death Troopers. Now, the Death Troopers unfortunately don't include their pauldron from Krennic Shuttle, but I don't think that takes away too much from the look of the figures as they still look really menacing. The Walker is fine enough, it doesn't seem like something that would actually be used much, but I guess it is kind of army buildable. Overall, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10, as you can buy multiples of this set. It's just the 50-50 Death Trooper to Stormtrooper ratio is a bit off. I wish there was probably 1 less Death Trooper and 1 more Stormtrooper. I think that would have worked a bit better. The other 2 battle packs from this year actually released in the middle of the year in June, which was one of the first occasions this had actually ever happened. The first of these sets was the First Order Transporter Speeder, and this was a much better rendition of the First Order battle pack from the previous year. We got 2 regular First Order Stormtroopers and a Flame Trooper as well as 1 officer. Again, I wish the officer had been left out here, but other than that, it's a really great set. The Riot Shield and the Baton were also really nice to get, and the speeder does look pretty good as you can fit multiple figures in it. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. The other battle pack from this year is one of the weirdest of all time, and this is the Bounty Hunter set. You get 4 Lom, Bosk, IG-88, and Dengar, all 4 well-known named bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back. This was the first battle pack to include all named characters, and as I said, it was really weird at the time. Personally, it was great getting this set as I'd never previously owned any of these characters, but as a battle pack, it fails on almost every level. The speeder bike is pretty unique. I like the quad lasers on the back, and that light blue color scheme looks really nice. But overall, as a battle pack, it's kind of terrible. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. 2018 was the last year we got 4 battle packs, with the first being the First Order themed set. This one came with 2 gunners and 2 First Order executioners. It was cool to get the executioners, but they're just not massable at all. The turret isn't bad, but the figures just tank this set, so I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10 as well. Next was another really bizarre battle pack similar to the Bounty Hunter one. This is the Tatooine battle pack. This one came with 2 Jawas, a Tusken Raider, and R3-T2. Now, I have no idea how this battle pack came to be, but it's extremely weird. I think the LEGO designers must have been getting really bored with just including regular troopers in battle packs or something, because the build looks pretty crappy to me, and while the figures are all good quality and look great, it's just not a battle pack. This is a 6 out of 10 from me. The next set is one that has gone down in history as one of the worst battle packs of all time. This is the Jedi and Clone battle pack. First, I'll start off with the positives, which are that the 2 Phase 1 clones look amazing. Getting 2 in this one set was great. The build is also kind of cool. It looks like a miniature Republic gunship, which I love. However, the set also comes with Ki-Adi-Mundi and Barriss Offee. Now, at the time, and still now, I'm glad this set existed because we could never get non-Clone Wars variants of these characters before, and this set finally gave us that opportunity. However, I have no clue why they're in a battle pack and not in just a regular $20 or $30 set. Does anyone want a Ki-Adi-Mundi army? I doubt it. Does anyone want a Barriss Offee army? I really doubt it. Anyway, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10, as I do like that it gives kids a cheap opportunity to get some Jedi, but otherwise it's a really weird and not a great battle pack. The Solo movie got 1 battle pack here too, and this was the Imperial Patrol set. You got 2 exclusive Patrol Stormtroopers who appeared at the beginning of the film, and they look really awesome with those newly molded helmets. The other 2 figures are really lackluster though, not offering very much at all. I like the speeder design though, as it is something that directly appears in the Solo movie itself, and it looks pretty accurate. I'm going to give this set a 7 out of 10, as although half the figures are bad, the 2 good figures and the build save this one. 2019 went back to just 2 regular battle packs for a year, and the first was the Elite Praetorian Guard set. This one came with 3 Praetorian Guards and a regular First Order Stormtrooper. I just love this image so much, by the way, because it's like, what is bro even doing here? Anyway, the Praetorians look really nice, and even if they just have legs and not the skirt pieces, they still look pretty cool. Overall, this one can't really be army built other than maybe twice, but I do like the figure selection, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The next battle pack was the Inferno Squadron from Battlefront 2, and this was an awesome battle pack to get, as it gave you Iden Versio, as well as 3 more Inferno Squad members. Again, you can't really army build these, since there's not supposed to be hundreds of Inferno Squad members, they're meant to be a sort of small team dispatched for stealth missions. Otherwise, the build is good enough, it's a good looking speeder, so I give this one an 8 out of 10. Now, there was actually one more battle pack from this year, but it is kind of a strange one. This is the 20th anniversary Imperial Dropship, which is a direct remake of the 2009 set that we looked at earlier. This one came with 3 updated Stormtroopers and a Shadow Trooper, as well as a reimagined build for the dropship. The Han Solo 20th anniversary figure was also included here as a bonus. This set was priced higher though than regular battle packs at the time for that Han Solo inclusion, but it is still a really nice set. I give this one a 9 out of 10. I think the army building potential is just limited, again, because of Han Solo. 2020 brought us some really cool battle packs in the Mandalorian battle pack, our first one since 2011. This one came with 4 exclusive unique Mandalorians, all from the Disney Plus show, with capes, head accessories, and then a speeder and a small terrain build. This is a really nice battle pack in my opinion, and as many viewers pointed out from when I looked at this set in a previous video, buying multiple of these sets does allow you to sort of mix and match and customize the pieces of the Mandalorians, which will keep them all unique and looking different to give you sort of a real ragtag group of Mandos, as we do see in the show. Overall, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10 because the quality of these figures is just so high. We also got a Sith Troopers battle pack based on the Rise of Skywalker, and this one annoyed me so much at the time that I never actually picked it up, which I kind of regret now. The set comes with a really decent speeder build, but the minifigures are where it goes downhill. You only get 1 regular Sith Trooper, which was a real letdown and what I was mainly looking for in this set. The 2 Jet Troopers are cool to get, but they're just not as iconic or cool as the classic Stormtrooper design, and once again, LEGO really tried to sneak an officer in there. Anyway, this one is a 6 out of 10 from me. In August of 2020 though, amongst all the hell that was COVID-19, LEGO Star Wars fans got given a real treat with the first ever supersized battle pack. This was the 501st set. This one came with 3 regular 501sts in the brand new Clone Trooper style, as well as 1 Jet Trooper and 2 battle droids. The builds were much more substantial than a regular battle pack, and so they should be, because the set was double the price. Anyway, the set is actually really nice, even though it is hard to consider and kind of compare it to the other battle packs on the list. I think a few more droids would have maybe helped with the price on this one, as that would have made it feel more like 2 battle packs combined into one. Anyway, this one is still a solid 9 out of 10 from me. We then didn't get any battle packs for 2021, which is kind of odd. However, they returned in 2022 with the Snow Trooper battle pack, and this one did just recently retire, so I won't spend too much time on it. It's a nice little battle pack with some Hoth-based Imperials, and I love the Hoth Scout Trooper. It's an 8 out of 10 from me. Now, the last 4 battle packs are actually all still on store shelves, so I'm not going to spend much time on them at all. The first is a 501st Specialist pack. I like the variation in figures, but I do just love the basic 501sts more, so I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. The 332nd set is actually really great in my opinion. Yes, Vaughn isn't perfect, but I guess he does look close enough to a regular clone that if you buy multiple of these, if you leave off the visor, he just looks like another regular. So I'll give this set a 9 out of 10. I love the speeder build too. This year, we got a Clone Troopers vs Droid Super Battle Pack, and I love this one so much. 9 minifigures and the return of the Super Battle Droid was great, and it's a great callback to those original 2 battle packs. It seems like ages ago that we looked at in this video. Anyway, I give this one a 9 out of 10. And then the most recent battle pack is the Ambush on Mandalore, which I actually really like. I love the terrain build here. It's really proper and actually pretty sizable, and you can connect it to the Paz Vizsla set, which I love. Anyway, the figures are all amazing too, so this one is a 9 out of 10 as well. With that being said, we've now looked at every single battle pack ever, so let's quickly crown the winners and the losers on this insane ranking. In last place, we have a massive tie between the Assassin Droid set, the Snow Troopers, Clone and Droidicas, the original First Order, and the Executioner battle packs. Out of all of these, I think my least favorite has got to be the Assassin Droid battle pack. There's just not much here for anyone. And then at the other end of the spectrum, my favorite sets, which all got a 10 out of 10, were the Kashyyyk, Udow and Rebels Stormtrooper battle pack. It's tough to pick a favorite here, but I think I'm going to go with the Kashyyyk Troopers set, even though all three of these sets are amazing. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was super fun to make. I'm sorry it was so long. I wrote over 5,000 words for this video, so if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe and suggest any other videos that you think I should make. I'll see you in the next one.